Hey everybody, got another video here for you. Well, didn't work. The insert pulled out again. So, at this point I'm thinking I might have to come down here below the truss rod somewhere and drill a new insert hole, put the insert there, drill a new hole here, and have at it that way. Okay, got a new insert to work with here, and spacing on these neck bolts is 50 millimeters, and I took a look at 40, but that's still going to be awfully close to this hole here, so I think I'm going to have to try for like 35 millimeter spacing, which will put a hole back here, right about there. And if it doesn't work, then, I can always make a new neck or make a new body and new neck. It's just wood, so you can always redo. Well, here goes nothing. Okay, I'm going to start by putting this thing together with no shims and just see where it's at, and then figure it out from there. Well, it's definitely going to need some shim. Okay, I don't think this is enough yet. This old pile of shims here, this thing was clocking in at like close to 4 or 5 mil. Um, the reason why I did it, two eyes on either side of the bolt hole, is I wanted to get it further forward because it won't be as touchy if I have it further forward. Same amount of shim won't have as much effect, so I can dial it in better. And also, if you remember, this guy originally was sitting kind of proud because it had a little bit of pull up at first, and I had to take care of that. But that means this whole thing is kind of wide. This also sits proud. So the idea is to get the spacers to fit on either side of this hump. So let's see what's up. Okay, it's still kind of low, obviously, and it's also kicked to the left a little, kicked to the right side of the guitar, actually, a little bit. So, probably going to need some wiggle room in here. Take that out from 6 mil to 7 mil, something like that, and it's going to need more shim. I'll try the shim first. Okay, with two shims in, we're looking a whole lot better. It's a little high on the bass versus the treble side, but a bit of brass will fix that. And I think I'm close enough to throw a straight edge on it. Let's see what we got here. And we're getting there. And I might need one more, or about half that much, something like that. Okay, original stack of shims is clocking in at just a little under 5 mil. And each of these pieces here is 2 mil. So, yeah, this stuff is 2 mil. So, that right there is 4 mil. So, another one of these is almost definitely too much because this was actually, this here was actually, it was somewhere between here and half a mil less, at least before. So I think maybe I'll try a 1 mil piece instead of a 2 mil piece and see where I'm at. Okay, it's just a little high on this side. This thing will just barely rock, so actually it's probably not high. and on this side it's a little low, but close to 1.4 action. So something right here, or maybe a little more shim there, or maybe a little less here, or a little of both, might do the trick. But this might be close enough to throw some strings on it, and the rest can be taken up with the saddle adjustment. Okay, I've got 4 strings on. They're not up to tuning tension, but they're tight enough that they'll ring out, and they're all clearing and ringing out cleanly and not like bottoming out. Clearance action is still below 1.4 mil, so it's still low, but it's good enough. I've got enough strings on that I can tell that it's going to, that the actions, that there's enough shim in there that the action's not going to be too low, and I can adjust it out with the bridge, with the saddles. And the action's not too high, just slapping these 2 lightest strings on is not going to mess things up enough that it's going to throw, this thing up to 1.4 or whatever. So, yeah, this should work. But if you look this way, it's probably about a mil too close on this side, which means that what I want to do is I want to get my little baby rasps and take this screw, the upper one, and I want to rasp the left-hand side of the hole. Remember, guitar standing vertically, this is up, this is down, lift it, this is left, and that way, that way is right. So, yeah, I want to go here to the upper screw hole of the new one I drilled, and I want to relieve it a little bit on the left-hand side. Is that right? No. I want to relieve it on the right-hand side so that the neck will go this way and this will go that way. So that's the next step. So off come the strings again. I think you get the idea. I'm going to be at this for a bit. Right, so despite all this fussing around, basically we've got it down to the point where we're getting a solid connection. Nothing's pulling loose or anything like that. All we got to do is get it to the point where it bolts down nice and straight, and we're in the house. And we should have, great tone, and we're going to have mahogany on both sides, a good solid connection. That's all you need for a good guitar. Looks to me like it probably used a little bit even more on the treble side. We got like that kind of thing there, and we got this kind of thing there, and it's looking in general. Wait a sec. Let me turn this camera straighter. There we go. All right. Now we'll be able to see what's going on, I do believe. Can we get a straight shot down this thing? Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely still a little low on the treble side. So that was a 1/2 mil brass. I guess I'll go with a 1 mil in a plastic, and we'll see what that does. Okay, before I put the brass on, these were both at two 2 mil shims and one mil shim for a total of 5 on both sides. So with the brass, it brought it up to 5.5 and 5 mil. And so I popped off the brass, and that also took off a 1 mil. I'm going to put on a 2 mil. That'll bring it up to 6 mil and 5 mil, and we'll see what that's doing. So basically, I'm going to add another 1/2 mil to the treble side. It's getting to be quite the little stack there. Got 6 mil here and 5 mil there. But as long as it's, 2 posts and you got a screw pulling it down onto a solid surface, it'll all be nice and tight. Okay, it's looking like it's pretty even here, treble to bass side. Obviously, I haven't shimmed up the pickup yet. I think once I get the strings on, I should be okay as far as like being right on the fret plane or a little above with where things fall out, and I can always take it up at the saddles. If I pan back out here, the saddles, yep, there's the saddles there. Yeah, I can always, this should be close enough, I'm thinking, that once I get all 6 on and bring it up to tension, I can adjust out the rest of it with the saddles. So we'll see what happens. Okay, right now everything's pretty much slammed down right onto the frets. So I think from there I can probably clean it up with the saddles here. So I'll give that a try. If not, I'll go ahead and take like 1/2 mil out of both sides. And neck alignment left to right is looking pretty good. We got maybe 1 millimeter more on this side than we do on that side, so that should work pretty good. And yeah, in the end, it was a little bit of shim, 6 and 5 mil respectively, as I recall, but it got the job done. 2 solid machine screw inserts, so yeah, it should be okay. Okay, saddle heights are all set. It's a little high, but it's within adjustment range, so it could use less. It's got more shim than it really has to have, but it doesn't have too much shim. And action's all, these are set to 1.51 mil here, and everything's just right in the ballpark, so yeah, looking good. Okay, I was going to go ahead and tune it up and set the intonation, but I just remembered that I want to raise up the pickup some more, so time to take the strings back off and do that. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. So, until the next one, everybody, have a good one.